Today I wanted to talk to you about James Harden. James Harden, the loser. After the last playoff out against the Los Angeles Lakers, I wanted to look at Harden's career a little closer. Just hear me out. As far as I can remember, the man was a prolific scorer, especially since he got to Houston and recently a constant MVP candidate in the league. Also, as far as I can remember, he always lost in the playoffs and was always laughed at for his terrible defense, which has probably at least 100 of blooper video montages on YouTube by now. Harden is a weird kind of player. On one side, he's a guy you would always want on your team because he scores like a machine in the regular season with averages around 30 points per game. This last season, 2019-2020, he averaged 34.3 points per game. He gets you good positioning in the playoffs, but once he gets you to the playoffs, his averages go down a little. Those averages go down for many other players in the NBA in the playoffs, but I would say for a player the caliber of James Harden, they should really go in the other direction. Don't get me wrong, the man's output is not that much smaller in the postseason, but no matter who he plays with and who he has on his team, and he had some damn good teammates over the years, he just keeps losing. The point is, many times in the series he does lose, he's the main scorer and is needed to step up and carry his team through in some situations as the best player on the team should. For some reason, on the biggest stage with the biggest pressure and the brightest lights, he always seems to fail or come up short. Looking just at his playoff averages for his career, he looks like a playoff beast. Just look for yourself. Points per game in the playoffs, 23.5, but that has a drop-off from 25.2 in the regular season. Those are all overall averages. Turnovers drop in the playoffs from 3.7 to 3.5, so that's a positive because he plays about the same amount of minutes per game, which is around 36 to 37. In rebounds, he's about even for the playoffs and regular season at 5.3 and 5.4 rebounds per game. His assists drop from 6.3 to 5.8 in the playoffs, so a little bit of a negative there. His field goal percentage drops from 44% in the regular season to 42% in the playoffs. 3-point percentage drops from 36.3% to 33%. So a little bit, but not a huge drop here as well. I mean, looking at these numbers, he's a very consistent statistically player. The big issue is when playoff games are on the line and he's being counted on, bringing it home and deliver, he seems to fail most of the time. I did say before that he played with some great teammates. I'm not even talking about OKC days here because Durant and Westbrook were young pups then and all lacked experience. What I'm talking about is the Houston years where he played with the likes of Melo, yes, he was older, Chris Paul, an awesome floor general. Just look at what he did with OKC when he was older than when he played with Harden. Westbrook, we'll post a video about him too. He's a man out of control a lot of times, but that's not today. Serge Ibaka, Dwight Howard, Jason Terry, Tyson Chandler, Chandler Parsons, there's many more, many others. Harden has had good teammates. I mean, look what Chris Paul did with OKC this season. No one even gave them a chance to make the playoffs, and they made it in the West at a 5 seed. Now, also please don't misunderstand me here. James Harden is an incredible offensive player. His defense has a lot to be desired, but even as it goes for his teammates that he never had a defensive-minded coach as far as I remember since he has been in Houston. All the coaches Harden has played under in Houston, where he was always the first option, have been offensive-type coaches who do not put any emphasis on defense. Especially when Harden has been at his best statistically since 2016 until now, his coach was Mike D'Antoni, who has never been known for even thinking about defense. Players such as Chris Paul played with Harden from 2017 to 2019, all under D'Antoni. Melo was there at that time as well, even though Melo wasn't the Melo at that time anymore. I think a lot of issues for Harden and his losses have been due to matching him up with the wrong type of coach. The coaching mismatch can be used a lot as an excuse for Harden, but nothing changes the fact that he does disappear in the biggest pressure moments in the playoffs, when he is needed to carry the team on his shoulders. Here are some stats from James Harden from fourth quarters in his playoff elimination games. 2012-2013 first round elimination game 6 versus Thunder. Harden is 7 of 22, 31%, 26 points, down 1 going into the fourth, lost the game by 9 points. Fourth quarter stats for Harden: 2 out of 6, 6 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 turnovers. 6 points. 2013-2014 first round elimination game versus Blazers. Harden is 9 for 15, 60%, 34 points, up 1 point going into the fourth quarter, lost by 1. Fourth quarter stats: 1 of 4, 0 for 2 in final 32 seconds, 2 points, 2 rebounds. 2014-2015 Western Conference Final elimination game versus Warriors. Harden is 2 for 11, 18%, 14 points, down by 6 going into the fourth quarter, lost by 14. Fourth quarter stats: 0 for 3, 1 point, 1 rebound, 2 turnovers. 2015-2016 first round elimination game versus the Warriors. Harden is 12 for 23, 52%, 35 points, minus 27 for the game, which is an interesting stat. Down 30 going into the fourth, lost by 33. Fourth quarter stats: 2 out of 5, 5 points, 2 assists, 1 turnover. 2016-2017 second round elimination game versus Spurs. Harden is 2 for 11, 18%, 10 points, minus 28 for the game. Down 23 points going into the fourth quarter, lost by 39. Harden's performance in the fourth quarter: 0 out of 4. 2017-2018 Western Conference Finals elimination game versus Warriors. Harden is 12 of 29, 41% shooting, 32 points, minus 13 for the game. Down 7 going into the fourth, lost by 9. Fourth quarter performance: 5 out of 7, 10 points, 3 turnovers. 2018-2019 second round elimination game versus Warriors. Harden is 11 of 25, 44%, 35 points, minus 10 for the game, up 5 going into the fourth quarter, lost by 5 points. Fourth quarter stats: 5 out of 8, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 turnovers. He never, as far as I see in elimination games, had a quarter at the fourth quarter where he had 15, 20 points. Never had an explosion like that, and he's capable of it. He never had it. 2019-20 against the Los Angeles Lakers elimination game. Harden is 12 of 20, 60%, 30 points, minus 29 for the game. 2 of 8 from 3, 6 turnovers, lost by 23. All of these stats show James Harden, even though had great numbers for full games, such as totals of 30 points, etc., he many times has that overall rating, and never, and I mean never, has a big explosion quarter to carry his team. It's like he doesn't have an overdrive when needed, like LeBron sometimes has, KD, or Kawhi. With the games I gave you as examples and the history of decent performances, Harden has never really carried his team in the final quarter, especially of an elimination game. This kind of look does everyone a great favor of showing that just looking at overall stats and averages is many times very misleading and deceiving. That is particularly why I don't look at the overall stats when comparing candidates to the GOAT seed in the NBA. I think there is only one GOAT, and that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel because there are many more videos like this coming.